Being a football agent is something that, yes, has brought me and he's given me a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, now that I'm branching that, is you find that people will question, well, you're a football agent, you know, why are you getting into fashion, why are you getting into media, why you have your own podcast show, why you have your own media company, why you want to get into clothes. And I just think for me, it's not something that I look and say, well, I'm only bounded to football. Today's guest is one of my ex-managers, former Tottenham Hotspur player, Steve Sedgley. Played over 100 games for Spurs, won the FA Cup with a midfielder, big, strong, powerful. He was someone that as a kid I knew, obviously being an Arsenal fan and the rivalry with Spurs, I knew of him very well, but it became strange because he ended up being my manager, you know, at one stage. And you know, he lived not too far from me, so that whole transition from knowing what he was as a character in terms of being a player and having him as my manager, then sharing car journeys with him to the training ground and hearing these stories. The geezer is an absolute legend.
I actually played a game at Hale End, where the Arsenal Academy is right now.
It still is, yeah?
It's still there, isn't it?
Yeah,
and there was obviously a London scout for Coventry boys. I got spotted there, went up there, so I did like a week school holidays, 2 weeks, yeah. Easter, whatever. Come to leaving school and Tottenham didn't offer me a contract. They said you can come back and train.
So you're still at Spurs at the time?
Yeah, so...
no, he longs back.
At least I'm being honest. Let's hear him in a minute. And then it comes to leaving there, so my dad said, well, you've got to go there, you've got a 2-year deal. Didn't really want to go there, being a Spurs fan, and went up there. The U2 manager was John Sillett, who suddenly became, after a year, became the caretaker manager. And in '87, the second game of the season, well, first game of the season, he put me in the squad against West Ham. I think they come third that year. Yeah. And the second game, he called me in and we were playing Arsenal at home. He said, "You playing?" Wow. And then, played about 40 games that year, but never played in the final.
No, that's right. I was going to ask you that. You was a sub, right?
That's right. Yeah. I was sub sort of. I played one of the games and I was sub for most of the cup tie. So I don't know whether he sort of kept it as superstitious, but it seemed like that. And I got ribbed because we beat. He's probably still on the YouTube now. We beat Leeds, I think, 3-2 at Sheffield Wednesday. Right. And right at the final whistle, we went straight to the manager, and I was there hugging him, and all the lads were going, "You arsehole!" It worked. Yeah.
How old was you at this time?
18.
Wow. So you had to do what you had to do to get in.
Yeah, I think it was more than arsehole and he was doing.
Oh, you might have a crime, guys.
What I want to do is to say, listen, just because you are talented in one area doesn't mean to say you can't be successful in other areas. And I think for me, what I want to do is to go on that journey. I want to bring you guys with me on that journey to see if we can make it, because I'm 100% sure we can. And I think, you know, the stigma of being a football agent does follow you because a lot of people don't understand it. But once you sit down with them, they understand that, okay, the passion for what you're doing is far greater than, you know, the stigma that it comes with what the media puts out about football agents and what they're about.
If he got himself fit, you can see when he was 18, 19, levels, strong as a fucking ox, the ball stuck to his left foot. No matter how you try to bounce him, it's on it.
What's going on with these? What's going on?
I had the black ones on the other day, but they weren't working.
You sponsored now? You sponsored?
They weren't working. Hope these are working. Well done. Come here. Win it. Good boy, mate. Well done. Go, Sam. Pass it. Finish. Yeah! Excellent play. What I tell you, boys? What I tell ya? Stand on me. Touch. Win it. Finish. Yeah! Yes. Finish! Take it, man!
Posting James.
Eddie!
Take it there. Well done, James. Well done, James. Long range.
Good 2 weeks ago.
Win that.
This is fucking broken! This is not bluff, boys! Right, excellent plan! Come on, blood! Shane! Get him, man! Stand over me! Eddie, finish it! Yes, time! Play on! Pace, superb pace! Fucking brilliant! Drop in!
There you go.
It's your turn!
Yours, mate.
Come on! Yes! Come on! Go on, finish! Go! Eddie, stuck in! Eddie! Yeah! Eddie! Away! Ah, fucking hell!
Back off.
So lucky! Hey, cameraman, you better post this online, you know? Seriously, they've been quiet all game. Come on! Hey! Oh, you fucking bastard, keeper! How fucking lucky! Yes! Brilliant!
We're the best one in the world. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, so I know the manoeuvres that these clubs will pull. Yeah? So is my priority and your priority as a father to say, listen, he has his agent, speak to him, he wants the best thing for the player. So for me, I do not understand why the reluctancy for them not to call. It's been a matter of weeks now. You know, so which tells me that they're trying to do something behind closed doors, and that's not correct. You know, so for me, you know, is the way they're moving is very unprofessional. I'm not happy with it. I'm not comfortable with it because I've been doing this for a long time, as you know, very experienced. We just had a bad situation recently, and I don't want to go and put the players in the same situation again. Allow me to do what I'm good at. Of course, the club should have let you know. The manager should have called you to let you know. This is a professional football club that has not contacted the father, that has not contacted his agent, and yet the boy is going in there and playing for the club. He doesn't know what he's signing. He just wants to play football. If you're in a situation where you know your child's got talent, right, and you know your child's talent can take the family out of their current situation, which may not be great, okay, and you're sat in, or you're sat with a club, or you're sat with someone that can potentially change the course of your life, and certainly your child's life, which in turn will benefit you as well. You kind of lose sense of what's right in terms of morals, you know. So, but I think again, am I surprised this is the first time it's happened? No. Is it the last time it's going to happen? I don't think it will, because I think such is the demand for good young players, and you know, people will maybe take shortcuts and do maybe unethical things, but guess what, it happens. And I think, you know, my job is to try and step in and be strong and say, look, you know what, great, if you want to take the player, that's all well and good, but let's just do it in the right way and in the right steps. And I think sometimes as a parent, and from my experience as a parent, when you come from deprived backgrounds and you come from a working class background and you're sat with a multi-million-pound, you know, business and football club like you know you do, and you know, sometimes you lose sight of what's important. Ultimately, it's got to be the right thing by the player. If it's not right by the player, then there's no, you know, the riches that comes with it doesn't happen. So for me, it's got to be always the right thing by the player. And I think sometimes the club sees parents in unfortunate situations, and I think sometimes they may take advantage of that.